Hey guys, VideoJames, and this is going to be how to use Type Null. Type Null was really disappointing when we got it, because, well, Type Null and Silvally, but Type Null less so than Silvally. So, when Type Null came out, it was proposed as the so-called God Killer, and it was supposed to be able to kill all the Ultra Beasts and even Arceus itself, but when it came out, it was absolutely disgraceful across the entire board, and no one thought it would ever reach potential. But a lot of good Pokemon YouTubers, and actually a lot of good battlers, have found good strategies for Type Null. Including, I think the one YouTuber's name was Berto, was his name? He found a lot of really good strategies for Type Null. But, we're gonna get into this video. Again, Silvally was way more of a disappointment than Type Null. And you'll see why later. But, we see Type Null, we have the normal typing, meaning, okay, normal typing. We're neutral damage by everything. We only get that weakness to fighting, and we get an immunity to ghost. Seems like a really good typing. And then we got the ability for battle armor, which means critical hits can't land. We can't get critical hit, which is really important on Type Null, because this man is an absolute tank. So then we see going on to stats, that we've got 534 overall, but we've got 95 in everything except for speed, where we have 59. Now, that doesn't really say a lot. I mean, it's really good for a first evolution. That everything being 95 across the board is actually really good for a first evolution, and then having that 159 actually makes it really good. That it makes it only 66 points shy of being 600 in total. And it actually does make it a really good tank, because it actually makes it a really good anything. Because we could make it a tanky sweeper, we can make it just an absolute tank, we can make it a speed-ish sweeper if we wanted it. It won't really be fast. Type Null is never really going to be fast if you want it to be. That if you want this thing to be fast, you'd have to invest in speed, and even then with max investment and a nature, you'd only get to 238. You wouldn't really get anywhere with Type Null unless you were really, really trying, like, your absolute hardest to be able to get it done. And then we see Silvally, not really much of a different case. That Silvally is a little bit different, and it's kind of just an Arceus ripoff. That we see it's got the normal typing again, same stuff as Type Null, same weaknesses and all that, but it does get the ability RKS system, which is basically a ripoff of Arceus' genes, meaning it changes its type to match the memory disk it holds. Now tell me that doesn't sound like Arceus and Genesect. That is literally just Arceus and Genesect's abilities. But we see with Silvally's set that we just have 95. Everything is 95. It's like, okay, but why though? Everything was 95 before, except for speed, and now you just give it an extra 50 points? Like, what? How is this thing a god killer? This thing can get killed by everything. This thing can be killed by a Pyukumuku and still not kill anything. That, this is why Silvally was an extreme disappointment, was because of its stats. That no evolution in, like, history has ever had this bad of a stat change. That no evolution has ever only gone up by 56 stats. That it's not really been that bad in the case of forever. I mean, and when I say that, I'm counting on minimum evolution, or maximum evolutions, like from Pichu to Raichu, or from Rhyhorn to Rhyperior. Nothing's ever had this bad, because keep in mind, this is from a base evolution to a final evolution. This is a final evolution of something, and it's got nearly the exact same stats as its first evolution. There has been almost no change to this. And that was why it was so disappointing. It was a really disappointing Pokemon when Silvally came out. And then hopping over into Showdown, we see that our first set is actually an Eviolite workup set. That we've got the Eviolite on Type Null with workup, Iron Head, Tri-Attack, and U-Turn. And we've got split defenses, 100 in the defense, 156 in the special defense, and then just maxed out HP with an actual quiet nature this time. Now the reason for quiet nature is Type Null can stand to lose its speed. Type Null doesn't really have much to gain from keeping its speed, so it can kind of just say, screw it, and throw its speed into the wind. And that's one of the situations in which quiet actually works out good, is because a lot of times when you have a speed-lowering nature, you want to have it on something that's already slow, like Venusaur. you could run a speed lowering nature on that because it's already slow. Or Gigalith, you could run a speed lowering nature on that because its speed is already slow. But we see Work Up raises your attack and special attack by 1, meaning that our attack and special attack will be getting up to around 360, 340. And then we got Iron Head for the physical attack, Tri-Attack for the special attack, which is really good. Tri-Attack is actually extremely amazing on type Null. And then we got U-Turn just to get out of sticky situations. And with the Eviolite, our defenses will actually be going from like 265 up to 390 something. Which will actually be really good because we'll be getting a lot of coverage with type Null. That will be getting really tanky defenses and we'll be able to almost take a hit from anything we see. And we'll be able to just survive, again, almost anything. And the next set is basically a Rest Sleep Talk set. Now, the credit for this set actually goes to the PokeTuber Berto, because this was actually a set that I saw on a video on his channel, and it is actually a really viable type Null set. I use this one a lot, just because it works out so well. And it does really amazing in Battle Tree. Because Battle Tree doesn't really know how to handle this, because it doesn't expect the Sleep Talk. But anyway, we see again, same EVs, 252 in the HP, 100 in the defense, 156 in the special defense, and a boosted Quiet Nature. And then we got the Eviolite again with Rest and Sleep Talk, and then we got Iron Head and Tri-Attack. So basically the idea behind this set is just, your opponent hits you, immediate first turn, you set up a Rest, and then you can just go Sleep Talk, and you have 2 chances to get a good hit. That with Iron Head and Tri-Attack both being on you, you got 2 good hits that you can actually land. And Tri-Attack is usually the preferred one, I will admit, but Iron Head does work out well too. That Iron Head does give you that chance to flinch if your opponent does end up being slower than you, or if you get a Trick Room set up. And moving on to the last type Null set, we see we've got a Leftover Stall set. That this one, I didn't really run Eviolite because I felt like Leftovers could be a little bit more useful here. That we got Leftovers with the Battle Armor, same EVs. Again, I don't really think I'm going to say them the third time. And then we got Substitute just to kind of give our opponents a little decoy, Toxic to kind of wear their health down, Rest just to give our health back to us, and then Tri-Attack. That even with type Null's stats being kind of split in half, it still does get a decent boost to them, that with 250s in each of them, it still is going to be a slight bit of a tank, and with 394 in the HP, it is going to actually last a little bit longer than a few tanker Pokemon. And then we see Silvally, not really a lot with Silvally. Not really much I can say to kind of justify how Silvally works. That we got Swords Dance to kind of raise our attack, we got Multi-Attack, which is its special move, which changes depending on the type of disc. So we see we got the Fairy Memory. I just chose Fairy because it's got the least weaknesses and it's got a lot of strengths. And then we got Iron Head just for a physical attack and U-Turn to switch out if we need to. And then we got maxed out attack and speed with the Jolly Nature, and the rest of the EVs just thrown in HP. Now, you could run a Life Orb on Silvally. A lot of people like to run Life Orb, and that is an option. It does run viable with Life Orb. But that's really the only 2 sets you can run with Silvally. And it's disappointing because Silvally has such a limited moveset that it's like, this thing's supposed to be a god killer, but it's so weak. It can't do anything. And it was really disappointing. I do hope that they end up giving a buff to Silvally, that they at least bring his stats up. Because they did update Silvally and Type Null. They changed their shiny forms. Type Null actually has gold now on his shiny. I'll actually show you guys. Because you see, Type Null now has gold on his shiny, and before he didn't really have gold. He had just darker colors, and that was it. But now we see we actually got gold on the head pin and the tail, and normally it's just that gray with the white. So they did actually update Type Null and Silvally, so I'm hoping soon that they bring EV boost to them. But anyway, that's going to be it for this How to Use Type Null and Silvally video. Again, Type Null, much better than Silvally. I would definitely recommend that you use Type Null over Silvally, because it just works out so much better. And if you guys have any Pokemon you want to see me do videos on in the future, let me know down in the comments. And if you like this video, you can slap the like button as always, and I will see you guys later.